when you are faced with something that scares you, something that makes you nervous, will you shrink behind the bleachers and hide? No. Or will you stand up anyway and live without regret? And suddenly, my excitement turned to fear as the crowd before me lined up. And I slowly shrunk into the bleachers behind me. No way was I gonna be the first one. So I sat and watched. And after each ninja went, the crowd reacted with like an ooh if they fell, or a cheering applause when they made it. And suddenly, I felt my hunger for the challenge start to grow. This is what I've been training for after all. So I couldn't let this amazing opportunity pass by. So I forced my legs to stand up and walk to the end of the line. And then suddenly, my hunger for that challenge turned into butterflies, and those butterflies must have been training for Ninja 2 because they felt stronger with each step closer to the obstacle. And then, the person in charge pointed at me. My butterflies dropped. I slowly climbed up to this obstacle, and I just kept thinking, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So I took a deep breath, and I forced my legs to bound off this platform, and I'm hanging on this red bar that also like twisted all around, and I had to get to the next one. And I swung back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then doubt set in. Am I good? I don't know. My brain, it turned into scrambled eggs. It scolded at me. You were up here for too long, you need to go. So I opened my hands and hope for the best. Splash. So I remember how that cold water shocked my lungs. I gasped for breath, and I hopped out of that pool as fast as I could. I wrapped a towel around myself, not only for warmth, but also to hide from my embarrassment. And so I was like, if only I could disappear back home. I was so disappointed. My first ever Ninja Warrior obstacle, and I fell. So about 5 or 10 minutes went by, and I noticed that the ninjas moved on to the next obstacle. I do want to try that. I started to itch for more. So even though I was still embarrassed and scared of falling again, I stood up anyway. I wasn't going to let my course testing experience end this way. I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. So once I got to the end of the line, I took a deep breath to calm the butterflies. And I started climbing up this obstacle. And then I got to the halfway point, the big challenge move, or what we call in Ninja, the crux move. And I locked in on the next handhold. No brain yelling at me this time. So I took a big swing, and I shot my hands at it. All right, so this is the first part. You gotta climb up. When you have to spin around on this way.
Moving it.
You gotta monkey your way over to this next part.
Right in.
And here comes the big move.
Right hand. Right hand.
And we caught it. So all I have to do is hit down, get out of this thing.
Let's go. Yeah.
I still remember hearing that crowd cheering wildly behind me as I completed my first ever American Ninja Warrior obstacle. And so, after the thrill of course testing was through, I texted my gym group chat. I'm home. Thank you so much for taking me with you. As tears of joy rolled down my cheeks, I screamed to myself, I can actually do this. I felt one step closer to achieving my dream. One step closer to actually getting on the show, completing every obstacle, and hitting that buzzer at the end. And none of this would have happened if I stayed hidden behind that bleacher and let my fears and embarrassment win. So ask yourself, when you are faced with something that scares you, something that makes you nervous, will you shrink behind the bleachers and hide? No. Or will you stand up anyway and live without regret? Yes. That's what I like to hear. So, I kept on going to that ninja gym, and a whole year went by, and I applied for the next season of American Ninja Warrior. And I waited and waited and prayed for this call from them. And my phone never lit up with the call from them. They rejected me again. But